in order to add additional jazz into the Ultrabook and make it even more compelling, meeting all the user experience that customer wants. First of all, if you are seeing what's happening in the computer industry, in the last 30 years, if you look at the performance, so you are trying to kind of equate performance to the number of transistors, in the last 30 years, the number of transistors grew up by 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But if you look at the user interface, the man-machine interface, we didn't do a lot. We didn't do a lot, by the way, because of two reasons. First of all, there was not enough innovation, but people do not recognize it. We didn't have enough compute power to do what we always knew that people would like to do. So it's not that there was not innovation. There have been a lot of experiments, there have been a lot of things in the labs, but you didn't have the horsepower in order to bring it to mainstream, and you don't want to have a server in order to do some kind of a natural interface. So, you know, in the 70s, we've been dealing with DOS. The old guys over here, let's say, no, you don't say old in the US. The experienced guys in this audience remember that they were working with DOS, and as you know, I used to say it many times, DOS was very user-friendly operating system because you need a lot of friends to operate this DOS operating system. Later on in the 80s, you know, Apple and Microsoft came to the graphics screen and had the icons. Definitely it was much better, it was user-friendly. And lately we've seen people moving to touch, which is very intuitive. But for some reason, the touch skipped the notebook, skipped the Ultrabook. It was dedicated to phones and it was dedicated to tablets. And there was a lot of dispute about it. So let me tell you something. It's not going to skip the Ultrabook anymore. We've got this discussion in Intel, and some of us have been almost religious, believing that an Ultrabook with a touch would be an ultimate solution. People do not want to give away the real keyboard, the physical keyboard, but they want to enjoy both worlds, the real keyboard and the screen, even in a touch screen. Because we had a dispute, we took it over to the market. It was Europe and the US. And the reaction was unbelievable. People loved it. We gave them all kinds of things to do. And 75% of the operation had been done on the screen, not on the keyboard. On the keyboard they type. They called the picture, but they wanted to zoom the picture. They wanted to crop the picture. They wanted to close window. They were using a lot of the things with their hands. So let me share with you some of the comments that people say. I usually use the touchpad, but it's intrigued me. I like touch, but typing is important. And the thing that I liked most was the fact that somebody said, this is for working. This is for fun. And then, you know, you've got all these skepticism people. Also in Intel, we've got a few of them. And they say, yeah, touchscreen is going to be great, but make sure that you sell it to people with gorilla hands, because you need to do like this all the time. So you better go to the gym room and make sure that you've got big muscles in order to be able to operate it. And we tested it as well. No. People say it's very easy, because when you do gestures, or you touch the screen, you do it like this, and you do it like this, and some of the people even held it like this, and just doing the scrolling, because it's much more comfortable to do the scrolling like this than doing it with the mouse. By the way, the results have been so well that my director of marketing, Eric, was sitting over here. We didn't believe the result. We never had something that tested so good, and we sent the team over to Brazil and China. And the two teams came back with exactly the same results. So let me show you some of this touchscreen and how it's done. And two things. If you believe me, say wow. And if you don't believe me, go later on to this notebook, try it, touch it, and then tell me wow. Okay, what do we have over here?
So we have a Windows 7 Intel Concept Ultrabook, and with a very media-rich enabled touch applications. Very simple, very easy. You can touch it, navigate it. We can open up a magazine easily. Just flip the pages. We can zoom in. If you want to check out the car. Easy navigation. Go down here, we can go to a different page.
So we can see some of the applications are much easier done by scrolling the screen, zooming, and all these kind of activities, closing windows, opening windows. Some of the applications definitely, like writing email.
It doesn't replace it. I still utilize the keyboard, I still utilize the trackpad, but now I've gone into all three usages. I'm using the touch. It's just so natural, so easy. It's very intuitive.
Yes.
You want to give it a try?
Yeah, definitely. It looks beautiful, and you know, if I need to read it, but you know, I'm distracted all the time. What the hell is all this piercing?
Oh, well, I can help you find a place down the street to get one if you'd like.
Thank you. This will go very good with my head.
It would match very well.
Okay, but this is the touch screen. What do we have over here? Because I believe this is something that we stretch it another level, right?
Sure. So this again is the same Intel concept of Ultrabook. This one actually is running Windows 8, and it also has sensors. Everyone's used to sensors.
You must let me know, although I didn't practice it.
Okay.
So
I'll let you pick it up and do it.
So we've got a sensor that we added to the Ultrabook. So first of all, when you need to stick a location, it will not ask you where you are and you need to put your your address, it will be done automatically. But more than that, if I take it, and I believe this Google Earth, I can navigate it and use all the great compute power that you've got an i5 and i-core, and I'm not sure that many other things will be able to deliver such an application, and at the same time, enjoy both worlds. So we can see over here, and again, you'll be able to try it later on, how the sensors are working with these Ultrabooks. And I can see already people asking cynical, yes, but it's a clamshell. So let me promise you two things. First of all, it's very comfortable to do it with a clamshell. It's beautiful. But some of the systems are going to be clamshells like this. It's a base. But if you'd like to do it, you'll have it as a tablet. Then thank you guys. By the way, this section, did you hear what they just said? But what you can see over here is the way that you'll see many of those. We call it sliders or convertibles. We just open it, we took it, and then we can take the compute power that we've got in a core processor and use all the greatness that we can do on a PC. But if you want to do it as a tablet, you can have your tablet with you, and then you can have the touch that you have seen, you can have the sensors, although my personal belief is that people will use touchscreen with their Ultrabook, even in a clamshell, and people will use the sensors, and after a few weeks that you use it, you'll be surprised you will not be able to do anything without it. So what you see over here is the Ultrabooks, and we've got it on Microsoft, Windows 8, that you all have seen the tiles, and it will run even better. So the first example was an Ultrabook with Windows 7, and once we are working with Microsoft on Windows 8, we'll be able to get even better experience and having the tile experience with the rest of the applications. The other thing I would like to share with you is the Nikiski. Nikiski sounds like a very strange name, I agree. This was a concept that the guys in our lab thought about, and I disclosed it in Computex. And what I showed is this Nikiski, this is how it looks like. Let me go on stage so people will be able to see it. And the idea was the following. It's an Ultrabook that you can type everything on a normal way. But over here, we've got a touchpad that you can move the mouse using the touchpad. But the interesting thing is that when you are on the go, you can close the Nikiski. The touchpad is transparent. Let me show you how it's transparent. Can you see my finger? Yeah, it's transparent. And you can see the data that you need. What is my next meeting? Did I get an email? And when you've got something urgent, you don't need to go immediately to your phone or to your tablet to another device. You'll have it on the go. So you'll be able to enjoy both worlds. A very powerful notebook, but when you're on the go, you'll have all your data with you. I'm proud to say that this was 6 months ago, but today we've got actually a working demo. Hi.
Watch your step there.
I already felt once from this stage. It's okay.
So we have a Nikiski prototype here. It's open, and so it's in clamshell mode. And you can see that I have a cursor that I'm controlling over here. I left it over here.
You move the mouse by touching
touching the pad in the center, activating it. However, now that you'll see it's over in the center, if I put my palms down as if I was typing, it is not picked up.
Hold on. I don't trust the audience. Again, when you touch it with a finger, the mouse is moving. But when you want to type and you put your palm, the touchscreen, the touchpad identify the fact that it's a palm and ignore all the movement, so your mouth will not move when you put your palms on this touchpad. Wow! Thank you! And by the way, don't even think about copying it because we already patented it. Okay, go on.
So
But it's very smart, I really think so, thanks.
when I'm on the move, I can activate it with one finger swipe. It comes up from
So you
sleep.
just close it and this screen appears
The
automatically.
screen will appear.
Let me see if you can see it. Yes.
Okay. And all my alerts are in red, what I'm going to do this afternoon. I have other items like news feeds, mail, calendar. So I bring up my calendar, I can do some small minor actions like accept a meeting or something like that. Go back to the home screen, I can bring up news feeds, and I can find, things about today's news, bring it up, I can browse if I'd like. And one of the key things is, if I'm going to use it, so for instance, if I was working on an email or something like that, I don't want to have to go find that email
I
again.
believe you have to do it a little bit like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can just open it up, and it goes right to where I was when I was in the Nikiski reveal mode.
So, as I say, this is the system. This is a standard system with the transparent touchpad. And the minute I want to go on the go, I just close it, and immediately the screen is changing. And here, I can move and do whatever I want, so I'll have my data. Would you like to have such a PC? You'll have to wait.